Hello, welcome to Dungeoneer'S Pack, a channel bringing you player-focused discussions and character guides for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. My name is Josh, thank you for watching. Supernatural Gifts are a recent addition into 5th edition. First appearing in Explorer's Guide to Wildemount, Mythic Odysseys of Theros takes the idea and runs with it. Supernatural Gifts are an additional character option that has qualities similar to racial traits, boons, and character backgrounds. When playing in a campaign set in Theros, your character is expected to have one of these gifts from the start. Like with any character option, your choice will shape your character mechanically and narratively. In this video, I'm going to go over all the supernatural gift options, as well as go over how you can apply these to other official D&D settings. With that said, let's get started. The first supernatural gift on this list is ANVILWROUGHT. A character that starts off with ANVILWROUGHT is a living creation made in the fires of Perforos's Forge. In any other setting, you would be considered a living construct like the Warforged in Eberron. But in Theros, you are a living construct created by the power of the god of the Forge. As an ANVILWROUGHT, you will still take on some aspects of a construct like visible joints, and your skin has a metallic sheen to it. Being an ANVILWROUGHT gives you the constructive resilience feature that provides you with the following benefits. You have advantage on saving throws against being poisoned, and you have resistance to poison damage. You don't need to eat, drink, or breathe, you are immune to disease, and you don't need to sleep, and magic can't put you to sleep. The other feature you receive is Sentry's Rest. Sentry's Rest states that whenever you take a long rest, that you must remain inactive for 6 hours instead of the usual 8. During those 6 hours, you are motionless, but not unconscious, being able to see and hear as normal. If your character has the ANVILWROUGHT feature, you are picking up 2 of the Warforged racial traits. Constructive Resilience and Sentry's Rest function identical to the traits printed in Eberron Rising from the Last War. Both abilities are solid, with Constructive Resilience providing you protection from poisons, diseases, and being put to sleep. Sentry's Rest allows you to take on guard duty when your crew needs to rest for the night. When choosing the ANVILWROUGHT supernatural gift, consider the themes your character will wrestle with. It is very similar to the Warforged in Eberron. You must ask yourself, what is your purpose? What is the nature of being alive? And in regards to Theros, ask yourself what role does the god Perforos or one of his most devout followers play in your life, and why would either of them want to bring you into existence? The next supernatural gift is Heroic Destiny. Heroic Destiny is the supernatural gift that may be the most applicable to most settings of D&D outside of Theros. Your character was destined for greatness since birth. The book provides a table with a series of destinies that you can choose from or roll for. Having a heroic destiny provides you with 2 traits. The first is Defy Death. Your character will have advantage on death saving throws. The next is Hard to Kill. If you were to be reduced to 0 hit points, but not outright killed, you drop to 1 hit point instead. It recharges on a long rest. Both abilities really make your character hard to kill and give your character a feeling of being protected by the gods. This supernatural gift gives your character some insurance to survive the risk of death past the first few levels where death will be an issue. After that, your character is virtually invulnerable to death unless your table plays with any sort of variant rules for 5th edition's death mechanics. When choosing Heroic Destiny, your character will be dealing with the idea that their fate is predetermined. Consider how much of that destiny weighs on your character. Does your character want to live up to greatness, or do they struggle with being able to choose their own path? Your devotion to the gods of Theros plays a crucial role in your character's path in the adventure. The next supernatural gift answers the question, what happens if you do not worship any of the gods? The supernatural gift ICONOCLAST provides that answer. As an iconoclast, in the Theros setting, you know that the gods exist, but you do not worship them like the others around you. Instead, your lack of devotion has unlocked a power within you that has you stand apart from others in this world. The first ability you get as an iconoclast is Enlightened Protection. You are able to cast protection from evil and good on yourself using no material components. You can do this again after a long rest. The next ability is Reject the Gods, which provides you with spells as abilities that you can cast, then have to take a long rest to use again. You get new spells when you hit 5th, 11th, and 17th level. At level 5 you can cast a spell Magic. At level 11 you can cast Dispel Evil and Good without using material components, and Dispel Magic can be casted at 4th level. And at level 17 you can cast Anti-Magic Field without using material components, and Dispel Magic can be casted at 5th level. Iconoclast provides some solid support spells without making your character overly powerful. In comparison to other supernatural gifts in this video, Iconoclast is probably the right power level for what supernatural gifts can be. Iconoclast functions similar to how certain races have obtained inherent racial spells. When choosing Iconoclast, consider how your lack of worship to the gods affects your place in the world. Does your unwillingness put you at odds with the gods and their worshippers? And did one of the gods spite you or those you love that caused your disdain for them? The next supernatural gift makes your mind incredibly hard to crack. Anyone who dares to intrude your thoughts may find themselves lost in a mental maze. As someone with the inscrutable supernatural gift, you are given a blessing, curse, or trained by a sphinx to have your mind protected from those that attempt to diminish your mental fortitude. The first trait from inscrutable is Psychic Shield. This trait gives you resistance to psychic damage. The next trait is Sphinx Shroud. This trait makes you immune to any effect that would let other creatures sense your emotion or read your thoughts. Anyone who makes an insight check against you makes that check with disadvantage. The traits in Inscrutable are perfect for characters that are deceptive and want to hide their true intentions. The resistance to psychic damage will play a role for you depending on how prevalent the game you are in will include enemies that rely on mental powers and manipulation. Sphinx's Shroud, on the other hand, will be a constant buff if you put yourself in social situations. It is perfect for anyone playing the party face, especially if they tend to be more deceptive. When choosing Inscrutable, ask yourself how this gift or curse has an effect on the relationships with the people in your life. Has this made them feel you're more distant or mysterious, as you are hard to read? Or has this ability hurt your relationships or prevented your ability to build them? The next supernatural gift empowers your character due to their close relationship with another person. Lifelong Companion will provide you abilities that benefit your team instead of directly providing benefits to you. The first trait you receive is Boon Aura. Any allies that are within 5 feet of you have advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. The other ability is Companion's Protection. You can use your reaction to divert an attack to you from any creature that is within 5 feet of you that is hit by an attack. Lifelong Companion gives you a shorter range Paladin Aura and a Frontliner ability which can save an ally from a devastating blow. The wording on the aura states that it only affects people around you and doesn't benefit you directly. When compared to other supernatural gifts, this may feel underpowered for you. You remove any benefit for yourself to help out your team. You are still providing some really strong buffs for your allies, but if you are focused on your character's overall power, it might be best to pick a different gift. When taking Lifelong Companion, figure out who is your companion that provides the support that drives your internal power. Is it a family member, significant other, another party member? The nature of this relationship can really help you and the DM drive your character's roleplay and possibly the direction of the campaign. There is another supernatural gift that has you being created by the gods. As a Nyxborn, your character is made from the very raw material that makes up the realm of the gods, Nyx. The gods shaped you from an idea, a memory, or a dream and placed you on Theros with a purpose. As a Nyxborn, your first trait is Cloak of Stars. As an action, your body is covered by the night sky and attack rolls made against you have disadvantage for a minute. This ability recharges after a long rest. The second ability is Nyxborn Resistance, and this gives you resistance to necrotic and radiant damage. The Nyxborn abilities are great and benefit any character regardless of their in-combat role. The Cloak of Stars gives your character similar abilities as if they were to have the Cloak of Displacement magic item. For an entire combat, your character will be difficult to hit. The damage resistances are just the cherry on top. Nyxborn shares similar themes to those with characters that are an ANVILWROUGHT or have a heroic destiny. What purpose were you created and set out to do? Do you feel the need to live up to this purpose or stand in defiance and forge your own path? The next supernatural gift makes you a conduit between the gods and the mortal world. As an oracle, you have keen insight into the will of the gods and are able to speak their message to all who listen. This gift comes at a price as you are cursed with an affliction tied to your divine awareness. Being an oracle, you get a few abilities which help communicate with the gods. With Ears of the Oracle, you can speak, read, and write celestial. The god might also deliver a message using you, but speaking with their own voice. The next ability is Oracle's Insight. Whenever you make a roll, before you know if that roll has succeeded or failed, you can roll a d10 and add that result to the roll. This recharges on a short or long rest. The last ability changes your entire piety advancement for the gods. Oracle's Piety replaces the piety bonuses you would receive from a specific god with its own set of spells that can be casted as rituals but require a long rest to use them again. With 3 piety, you can cast Augury. With 10 piety, you can cast Divination. With 25 piety, you can cast Commune and also cannot be surprised. With 50 piety, you can increase your intelligence or wisdom score by 2 and increase the maximum of the chosen score by 2 as well. Being an oracle is perfect for your wisdom or intelligence based spellcasters. You have the ability to obtain divination-based rituals that will provide awesome potential for roleplay opportunities with the gods. Oracle's Insight acts like bardic inspiration, which can come in clutch to help you make important saves or skill checks. When choosing Oracle, consider if you are dedicated to one god or are a conduit for all the gods. Also consider the weight of your gift and the cost that curse associated with it affects your character. Are you a willing conduit wanting to do the bidding of the gods, or has the ability been forced upon you? While the Oracle's supernatural gift gives you a direct connection to the gods, the next supernatural gift empowers you based on your devotion to the gods regardless if you are directly connected to any of them. The PIOUS supernatural gift provides abilities based around earning favor with your god. The first trait is Pious Protection. If you fail a saving throw, you can re-roll it, but you must use the new roll. You can use this ability again after a long rest. The next trait is Religious Study. This provides advantage on religion checks when they pertain to your god. The last trait is Starting Piety. You get a leg up and start off with 3 piety points. In comparison to other supernatural gifts, Pious kinda falls short. Pious Protection is decent, having the potential to help you make saves, but the other traits give you narrow benefits that could be obtained through class toolkits or just simply playing in a Theros game. While the initial boost to your piety will give you a leg up on your teammates, eventually they could catch up and not only have equal or more piety than you, they will also have their own supernatural gifts on top of those benefits from their god. If you decide to choose Pious, consider how your devotion to your god influences your day-to-day life. How has your faith influenced your personality and relationships with those around you? The last supernatural gift has a basis in the ancient Greek myth of the hero Achilles. The Unscarred supernatural gift has your character being granted some form of invulnerability. This ability is either given at birth or by completing some deed that garnered the attention of the gods. When you choose the Unscarred, you receive the Unscarred Resilience trait. As a reaction, when you take damage, you roll a d12. Add your Constitution modifier to the number rolled and reduce the damage you take by that total. You can use this ability again after a short or long rest. Again, this falls in line with Pious. Unscarred feels a bit underwhelming. You can reduce the damage you can take, but when you compare this ability to another supernatural gift like Nyxborn, it feels like it was missing something. Both gifts play into the same space of preventing damage to your character, but Nyxborn will outperform Unscarred as you gain resistance to 2 damage types and force disadvantage on all attacks made on you for the entire combat. Unscarred Resilience can lower any damage you take from any kind of attack, but only on that single attack. If you decide to take up Unscarred, consider the nature and origin of your invulnerability. Was it gifted by one of the gods? Was it an accident that caused your skin to be hard like stone? Or does it come from a lineage you are unaware of? Due to the large amount of supernatural gifts, this time around, I'm going to focus on how supernatural gifts as a mechanic can be used in various official 5th edition settings. In Ravnica, the guilds could play a hand in providing supernatural gifts to your party. The Simic Combine has been long rumored to use their biomancy to create super soldiers. Players could have at one point undergone some form of biomancy that gifted them with these enhancements. The other potential option in Ravnica would involve the Orzhov Syndicate. Maybe at some point in your life in the city of Ravnica, you came across the Orzhov and needed their help. The Ghost Council gifts you with one of these supernatural gifts, but at a personal cost. In Eberron, 2 of the biggest trappings of the setting can allow supernatural gifts to exist in the world. Supernatural gifts could be an expansion of the dragon marks if your character has one. Not only does your mark provide powers from your house, but gives you something a little bit extra that makes you stand out amongst those that share your dragon mark. The other idea is that supernatural gifts could be given to those that survived the events of the Day of Mourning or ventured into the Mournlands and have been changed forever by the strange magic that permeates the environment. In fantasy settings like Forgotten Realms of Wildemount, they have some thematic overlap with Theros and how gods and mortals interact. They also share the idea of the hero's journey. Take the basic idea from Theros and apply it to your traditional fantasy settings. The player characters are much more than the mortals around them. The heroes have all been given a supernatural gift, as the gods have foreseen they are destined to shape, protect, or save the world they inhabit. Supernatural gifts provide another creative tool with mechanical support for your characters that add story depth and powerful abilities. When using supernatural gifts, consider the implications what they, alongside your class and character background, will have on your character. In comparison with character backgrounds, the supernatural gifts help explain why your character is special in the world, while your character background explains where your character was at in the world prior to their adventuring life. For dungeon masters that want to add this mechanic into their games that are not set in Theros, understand your players will have characters that will be significantly more powerful than usual. Throw in playtest material, feats, magic items, and multiclassing, you will have a mechanically high-powered game that may be difficult to balance. Ultimately, this is in your hands, and if this provides you and your players endless hours of fun, then more power to you. With that said, I want to hear from you. Let me know which supernatural gift is your favorite. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to know when new videos are up. You can also find me at the DUNGEONEER'S Pack Discord. A link to join the Discord is in the description below. Alright, I'm out of here. Have a good one.